What is going on, everybody? We are just getting started. Amazon FBA Q&A. We got the Tiki Talk live right here. I've noticed that some of my individual packages from my units get slightly in transit. Yeah, that happens. There's not really much you can do to avoid that. Maybe better packaging, but it's almost inevitable over time. Yeah, his product wasn't live for a while because they were asking for that certification. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be, I would still have him create a case with Amazon, but it's going to be kind of hard for him to dispute that, considering it was like in his settings. I would obviously try, but just based on experience, I don't think that Amazon is going to do anything about that. It's very unfortunate, but sometimes that's just the way that it goes sometimes. Let's go. All right. Make sure y'all drop your questions. So he's most likely going to lose his inventory. If they already created a disposal order, yeah. Hey, Luke, I joined the program this week. I hope to start the program hopefully tomorrow. Ari, welcome to the program. Glad to have you 100%. Make sure that you drop in the FB group, the private group, and say what's up. Just introduce yourself, and you'll see how cool the community is and everything. And I can't wait for you to get started. If you have any questions, you know where to find me, or maybe you don't, but you can send me a direct message through Messenger. Ari, if you want to message me what your name is, because if I don't if the name that you joined from, because I don't see any requests, I'm actually looking at it right now. If the name that you joined with is different than the name that's on the request, I deny it, just because there's always people who find the private group and try to join. But if you just re-request to join and then send me a message on what your name is on FB, and then I'll make sure that you get into the group. So if I did deny it, sorry, it's just because I didn't recognize the name, but we will get you in there. Don't worry. Let's get it. But okay, thank you, of course. And again, very happy to have you in the program. Congratulations on making that big step there. I posted some gem videos. I think I'm going to go back to only posting 2 videos on TikTok a day. But the last video that I just posted is how I got sales like this on Amazon. I actually give you guys some tips based on that account. And then the second to last video is how to optimize your Amazon PPC ads. I followed your PPC launch video. Do you have advice on how to get more clicks then? Increase your bids or optimize your reviews, main image, and title if your CTR is low. If your CTR is 0.3 or lower, then you have a CTR issue, which again would be reviews, price, title, main image. If you have a good CTR, then you're just underbidding on your campaigns. What's a good CTR? 0.5 or higher is solid. 1% is amazing. If you have lower than that, then you have a low CTR on Amazon. CTR is click-through rate. It's your clicks divided by your impressions. Do you need an LLC to start selling on Amazon? No. You can start as a sole proprietor. 1.5% is good. I'm around that. Yeah, that's actually really, 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 really good. That's a great CTR. user 123. So if that's your CTR, that's good. Now maybe, I don't really remember what you had told me, but now you probably just want to work on optimizing your conversion. So do you usually start optimizing ads immediately after launch, or do you wait? Well, the data is going to be instant. So if you're not getting clicks, then there's nothing to really wait on. And then if you get like 20 clicks but no sales, there's nothing to really wait on. You have to start making certain optimizations because the data is going to tell you what you need to do for your campaigns. Is sole proprietor going into Sam's and buying and shipping? No, that's a business model, which is not the business model that I do. There's LLC and then there's sole proprietor, or there's a corporation. It's your business entity. Conversion is low, but that's because of my low reviews, I expect. Yeah, probably. How do you know Amazon has created a removal order for your unit? They'll send you an email. Getting a freelancer for PPC campaign and ads, is it a good idea too? No, not even a little bit. You'll likely lose more money than you want. I would not hire people to run your campaigns. Ari, are you in here still? I think that this is her, because this is who requested to join. Yeah, this is her requesting in the group. But no, definitely don't hire people. You're going to end up hiring somebody who's going to lose you money. I accidentally had 2 units set to dispose. Is it a lost cause to get them back? If they were already disposed, yeah. Once a word gets 20 clicks in broadened phrase, add them to exact, even if no sales. Nope, that is not the strategy. I'm going to give a shameless plug, y'all, just because like I know it's something people struggle with a lot. I do try to post a lot of free videos on PPC, but if y'all are struggling with PPC, you need to check out the AMZ Masterclass, because inside we have the PPC Masterclass, literally the most in-depth guide on PPC ads out there. If you think my TikTok or YT videos are good about PPC, the PPC Masterclass will literally blow you away. It is night and day difference from, I've never had a student join for the PPC Masterclass and not get value from it. And I've never had a student join for the PPC Masterclass and say that it was not the most in-depth guide on PPC ads out there. Now, that being said, no, you only put things into exact that are converting. How about I don't have enough knowledge to set up PPC? I mean, like I said, I have a lot of free videos on TikTok on how to do it and how to optimize. I have a tab on my TikTok profile with 61 videos, and that's not even all my PPC videos that I posted because I stopped adding things to that playlist a little while back. 61 videos going over multiple things on PPC, and that's free. So I just don't think that you should hire people. The beauty of business tour is that nobody who first started selling on Amazon knew how to run PPC, and then you learn. But there's multiple issues with hiring somebody to just manage it. Number one is they're not looking at the full picture. They're only going to be making PPC optimizations. And when inherently you have a conversion issue, they're not going to help optimize your conversion. They will just continue to spend money. They also, it's not their money, so they're going to gladly spend it. And then they're going to give you a million excuses as to what they're doing and what's going on and this and that. And then, so they're not looking at the full picture. They're going to spend a bunch of money, and then they're going to be able to tell you a bunch of nonsense that because you don't understand PPC, which I'm not saying in a negative way. Again, I didn't understand PPC when I first started, but you're not going to know what they're actually doing on your campaigns. Do you offer just PPC side? How much does it cost for PPC mentorships, this course? Yes, we do offer it. This is, again, why I tell everybody to hop on a call with my team, because maybe some people just want the PPC side. but that's not going to come with any direct access to me. That's not going to come with any, Ari, I'm assuming that you're the person who just, I'm not going to dox your name, but I'm assuming you're the one who just requested to join in the private group, right? Because I can't see my TikTok messages right now while I'm on live, but I'm assuming this is you because yep, actually it is you. It's the same, almost the same profile. Yeah. All right. Just got you in there, Ari. You're all good. Sorry about denying it. Like I said, I just didn't recognize it. So, like I said, that is why I recommend people to hop on a call with my team, but you will not have access to me. You will not have access to our calls. You will not have access to message me questions about your PPC. When you have the full mentorship program, you have access to that one-on-one call with me. You have that access to, sorry, I always get distracted reading questions while I'm in the middle of answering something already. But when you have the full mentorship, you have direct access to message me. You have the one-on-one call with me where we can audit your campaigns, audit your listing, go over everything. You can screen share everything with me. You're even able to message me like screenshots of your campaigns, which a lot of my students do. And I can see, okay, did you structure it right? What does the data look like? All of that. Otherwise, if you just wanted the PPC Masterclass, you could get that, but it's only going to come with those video guides. Sorry, what did you say a good CTR is? Bro, I'm not even going to comment on that. Not on you, Zoya. Sorry, I was talking about something else. But a good CTR would be 0.5% or higher. 1% is great. When can your listing go live? Don't you have to wait until it reaches the warehouse? Yes, that is correct. Sometimes it gets checked in or goes live a little bit before it reaches the warehouse, and then Amazon's just going to set a longer shipping date. So you won't be, it won't be available for Prime right away. How's it going, Luke? What's good, Jordan? Good to see you, my guy. Hope all is well with you. Is August and September the quietest time of the year? Nope, not at all. This is like the pre Q4 time. And there's really no such thing, Tor, to be honest. Every product is going to be different. So, you know, like we have a product or we have an account where year round, we don't really see a slow season. And then obviously during Q4, it just bumps up. Then we also have an account where maybe like 3 months of the year is quote unquote our slow time. We still do really good sales, but you know, pretty much around Q2 is when things are a little bit slower. So it really depends on the product. Like if you have a more summer oriented product, then yeah, as it starts to come out of summer, then it's going to be a little bit more slower time. And then maybe it ramps up during Q4. But no, it's not like this universal, like, oh, these months for every single product are a slower time when you're selling on Amazon. It really is product dependent on that. And some products don't have a slow time. And unless you had a seasonal product, I wouldn't even attribute like a low sales period to a slow time because you're still going to be able to make sales. Is there any chance I can set up my first 100 units on 50% off to boost my sale? You mean you can do that? I wouldn't do that for multiple reasons. It's like putting a Band-Aid on a big wound, on a broken arm. If you don't have good conversion now, just because you drop your price by 50%, let's say that it did do good for your sales, but that's obviously going to crush your margin. So you're going to either not make money or lose money to sell 100 units. And then when you increase, even if you increase your organic rank, because organic rank is not like an entitlement thing. And I'm not saying that you're saying that by any means, Tor. But it's not like, oh, I'm entitled to be at this number, top of page 1. So let's assume you discount the product 50% because you're not converting well. Then you get to the, towards the top of page 1. But then when you bring your price back down, your conversion is going to go right back to what it was before. So you're losing money just to increase your rank, just to put your price back, and then still not be making money. So I would not do that. Also, if you do too significant of a discount and then increase your price, Amazon's going to see this as price manipulation. We'll get to that. I'll get to that. I'll get to everyone's question. Sorry, again, I get super distracted reading other questions while I'm answering. But Amazon's going to look at that as price manipulation, and then the very rare chance of a private label seller losing the buy box, you could lose the buy box. Like if you go from $50 to $20 and then you try to just increase it right back up to 50, Amazon's not going to let that slide. What are you selling? I sell all types of products. Home and kitchen, office products, health and household, toys and games, baby products. When did you start having fun money? How many products in? One product really changed my life, Zila. And then I just kept launching more and more products after that. But yeah, just one product. When you say having fun money, like was I able to go and buy anything after that first product? No, but I became financially free. I was able to work for myself. I was able to pay all my bills. I was able to start helping and providing for the fam. I was able to, again, move in on my own because I used to sleep on my best friend's couch when I started selling on Amazon. When is it okay to pay to show your products at the top of the list? Well, you want to run PPC always, but definitely go through the Masterclass, Ari. I always recommend people to go through the entire thing, minus the group coaching call recordings, because that's obviously a lot. Although I do recommend going through some of those, especially if they pertain to you. But going through the entire program just to kind of get an idea of everything. And then once you do, you're going to see like, okay, this is when I should start advertising. I have, sections on my launch strategy and my PPC strategy, the PPC Masterclass, and a bunch of other stuff. But I'd wait until I got some reviews first. And then after I was able to get 10, 15 reviews, and I also go over in the program how to do that and all the right SOPs for that, standard operating procedures. Once I got those initial reviews and my listing was optimized, then I would start running PPC ads. But there's multiple different placements on PPC ads. When you go and try to rank a product, you do want to do some ranking campaigns, which would be getting your product to top of search. But that's not going to be the full strategy. There's going to be a lot of places where you're going to want to advertise on Amazon for your products. Hopefully that makes sense. But you are in the Harvard of Amazon FBA private label education, so you'll be able to see all of that stuff once you start going through the curriculum. How do you decide on how many products to send to Vine? I always max it out, Zila, 30 products. It's going to be a personal decision. How much are you willing to spend? How much are you willing to give away? But for me, I know the value of reviews, and I want to give my product the best chance at success. And then once you submit a certain amount of products into Vine, then you can't resubmit more. In the negative keywords, can I just put my competitor's name? You can, but that's don't just add keywords as a negative to add them. Like it's only things that you're getting actual clicks on. And I wouldn't even necessarily be too quick to do this because sometimes you'll convert on competitor keywords. Now, if you started getting a bunch of competitor search terms that you weren't converting on, then you would probably want to start adding some as a negative, especially if you're not profitable on them, to try to, to not spend on them. But you wouldn't, if you have no clicks for those competitor keywords, there's no reason to add them as a negative. Also, from what you've mentioned to me, Tor, I don't necessarily think that's an issue for where you are in your journey, unless you are getting a bunch of clicks in those search terms. What tier inspection do you use from Alibaba, or do you recommend third party? Well, the ones on Alibaba are third party inspections. It's not Alibaba and it's not your manufacturer who's doing it. But I would recommend the best one, but I don't use Alibaba inspections anymore. I created an inspection service for my students that's better than all three of the tiers that Alibaba offers. At most, Alibaba, no matter how many units you order, is going to inspect 10 units, but we do it a little bit differently. I'll get to that. We do it a little bit differently. Like, one of my students just had an order of 200 units and we came in and inspected 42 units, and it's less than the Alibaba inspection is. No, I just saw you join, bro. I was trying to ask you this yesterday, but you bounced out. How's your product going? Or products? I know you launched a few. How did you come about finding your product? I struggle with finding an idea. It's a numbers game. You just keep looking, keep looking, keep looking. It's kind of like when you first learn to swing a bat. You'll probably strike out a few times, but then the more you do it, the more you'll hit. I get 20 to 30 clicks every day and 2 to 3 sales. I mean, I'd have to see the campaigns tour to give you like the best advice. So I would take this with a grain of salt because I haven't actually looked at any of your data. But I'll get to that too, New. Essentially, if your conversion is low right now, you should cut what's not working, things that have 20 clicks or more and are not converting well, or not converting at all, I should say. And then the things that you do, allocate the budget towards the things that are performing well. I changed my ad strat slightly, mainly single keyword broad campaigns. I mean, see how it plays out. I don't necessarily, it's not that I don't agree with the single keyword part, but you don't want to just run broad, because broad isn't going to help you rank as much as your exact match campaigns. But if you're not converting, then obviously you're going to just end up spending more money. But exact is you got to start doing, you got to start ranking for certain keywords, Noob. You obviously need to get the conversion dialed in first, but rank is going to be the biggest factor into your success for those products. Can you explain to me what capital is? Money. Capital equals money. No auto, phrase, or category. Yeah, I don't love that. Auto is super important for keyword mining. Phrase is considered like mid-funnel. Phrase is also going to help you rank, not as much as exact match, but it's also going to help with your rank. I mean, all sales for a specific keyword are going to help you rank, but yeah, I mean, let me know how it goes. But I do think that those are important. Now, if you're only cutting them for now until you optimize your conversion, then I don't think there's anything wrong with that, especially if like broad and exact performed well for you, but the other ones didn't perform well. Okay, allocate your budget towards the stuff that does work, but then you still need to circle back to those other campaigns. It is kind of like a budget distribution thing when you first start. So let me pull this up for you guys and gals really quickly. We did a really in-depth coaching call, expectations and execution plan for your first 6 months of launching on Amazon. What would you do if auto spends 2 times the product price with no conversions, even if I negate daily? That's where I said, like, okay, maybe what you did isn't the worst, because if you're not getting any sales, then that's totally fine. But you still should circle back to it eventually. Right now, it's a conversion issue, Noob. And so, like, yes, you made a good play if that was the case for now, but you still need to optimize your conversion. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit more Tough. Very tough. Where is this? I'm trying to find where in the lesson. Oh, yeah. So like auto should be roughly 10 to 15% of your daily budget. Broad and phrase combined 25 to 35%. Exact should be 35 to 45%. And then product targeting should be like 10 to 20%. Tor, what's your conversion rate, my friend? If you're still in here, why not run all three types? Yes, you should, but in his specific scenario, he is making a good move. Like if he was getting no sales on auto, his first 50 clicks isn't going to be any better than his next 50 clicks until he does optimize some things on the back end. And so like it's not necessarily smart to go bleed all this money into auto when you can allocate that budget towards things that are actually getting you sales. I'm going to start prioritizing the calls again. Been working on releasing more products. Yes, 100%, Jordan. Even though we go over both of these things in the actual curriculum themselves, this week's call we're going to be discussing the search query performance report and brand metrics on Amazon. Again, we do have full lessons in the actual curriculum on that, but I'm going to be going over some more in-depth stuff, because something that I tell, and Jordan, I know you're a student, but something that I tell my students, everybody, is that if you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. That revolves around everything. That's your profits. That's your market numbers. That even goes into, like, if I ask anyone here who sells on Amazon, what's your conversion? What's your tacos? What's your CTR? What's your organic rank for your main keyword? And you couldn't tell me the answer to that question without going and looking at at your, what do you call it, your campaigns or whatever, you don't know your numbers. And in that case, if you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. Hey, bro, how much paid ads should I run a week? I mean, you want to start conservatively to first collect data, Moe, and then you can scale up from there. By the way, I'm just in the mindset of maximizing conversion, because without conversion, I have zero data. I agree. That's the mindset to have, Noob. You need to optimize your conversion more than anything. By the way, thank you for the help. Good seeing you. I know I just jumped straight into questions. No worries. Good to see you too, bro. Always. What's funny is my best converting keywords are broad, gift, words like anniversary gift. That is very interesting. That kind of is, and this is why you should always test things, but you would think that your main keywords would be the things that you convert best on. But I also know that you've mentioned that your product one of your products is a little bit seasonal. That really could be working against you, because if it's not in the season, and this is why I don't love seasonal products, it's going to make it a lot more difficult when you are trying to scale and dial it in throughout the year. How to get ungated for groceries. I don't get ungated for groceries because I don't do arbitrage or wholesale, but you literally just follow Amazon's guidelines. They tell you exactly how to get ungated, everybody. How many minimum requirements? What do you mean by that? How many minimum requirements for what? I even got a sale on a word similar to home decor. Yeah, I mean, that's solid. The problem is you're not going to rank on home decor. Like, the chances of you ranking on home decor are very few. So unless that sale on the broad term, like home decor, was profitable on your ads, this is the only time where you would calculate this based on ACoS. So if your ACoS was less than or equal to your profit margin, if it's not, then all of your traffic for that keyword is coming from your ads. And if your ACoS is not less than your profit margin, you're not actually making money on that keyword, like profit on that keyword. And okay, sweet. So as long as you're good there, but just keep in mind, it's going to be really hard to rank on those. Like, I don't know the keyword. I don't want you to share it. Not because I don't want to know, because I don't want you to dox your product or anything. But like when we look up home decor on Amazon, for the most part, these are some of the top sellers for home decor products with thousands of reviews. Not always. Like I see some 300 reviews, 700. Here's one with, oh, that's sponsored. Here's one with 900. It's not too bad. Here's one. Nope, that's sponsored too. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, especially if it's a more competitive keyword. It's baffling because I know I shouldn't rank on those. It's not that you shouldn't. If you can rank on something like home decor, GG's. Like you will do so well. But it's more so like, are you actually going to rank on it? Do you run ads heavy at the start of a new product launch and then ease off? No. I actually start very conservatively and then I scale up as the product does better. I think I saw your video. If I make 3+ sales, put it in exact. What if it's anniversary gift? Test it. I mean, especially if you're converting well for it. I wouldn't not do it in your case. Now, you just wouldn't do that if you had no data on it. Then maybe not, assuming it wasn't a main keyword. But if you are getting 2 or more sales on something with a good and profitable ACOS, then yeah, I would add it into exact. Because even if you get to like page 2 on some of those search terms, like that can still do good for your product. So I'm not against it by any means. I do want to show this really quickly. Keep asking your questions, by the way. I did just post a video, y'all, how to optimize your Amazon PPC ads. So make sure y'all go check it out. It's on TikTok, of course. I post all my videos first there. I'm also launching a new product. It's live, but waiting for 10 reviews to publish. I almost feel bad saying this, noob, because I already know you know this and you've been told by like even your mentor and stuff like that. I think one of the big bottlenecks for you at this moment, aside from conversion, is that you did launch so many products. Now, there's pros and cons to it, so it's not all bad, but it's really going to make it seem like it's costing a lot more to start on Amazon rather than like going with one product. Again, I don't mean to say that or like make you feel bad because I know you already know that. But yes, I would launch all ad types: broad, phrase, exact, auto, and then a product targeting. But only launch product targeting campaigns. This is where some people make mistakes. Is they'll just go and target their top competitors, which isn't necessarily the move. You do want to target top competitors, but only those who you have a review, price, or differentiator advantage on. I understand the multi-product craziness. LOL, no worries. I love the chaos. Hey, man. And the thing is that there's pros to it too. So it's not all bad. Like you have multiple lines in the water. And if one of them bites, then awesome. It can make up for all the other ones if they don't perform well. Or maybe you have 2 that hit. I got 3 to 4 sales on a competitor ASIN. That ASIN is Amazon top seller. And my variation is super different. Nice. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Yours is different. So if you improved it or if yours is like another take on it, then that's totally okay. But like, let's say that somebody launched like AirPod cases or something, and that's exactly what the top seller does, and they did nothing different, no bonus items, no change to the design, nothing like that. They're probably not going to convert as well against that top competitor as if they did have a good differentiator or something like that. Mine isn't even in the same category as like they are a water bottle and I'm a coffee cup. I'm curious why you would bid against them then. I mean, if it works, it works. It seems like the way that you're going, it's almost like the data shouldn't be that, but it is that. So it's like, don't fix what's not broken. So good for you. Hopefully everybody else is getting value from all of this, because another thing about like these lives, everyone, is like some of these questions might not exactly be pertaining to you, but you're going to be able to learn from other people. I'll do a better example. Okay, nice. And you're going to be able to see what other people are going through, what other people are struggling with, what other people are winning with, and then carry that on to your product and brand. Why am I yawning? So I literally did not one yawn, not one yawn today. I hop on live, yawn. I don't know why. Somebody explain it to me. So I keep drinking water. The top guy is a diamond ring and I'm a diamond necklace. Okay. Well, that's not bad, because it could be. It's kind of like the auto campaign version of compliments. So something that complements that product. So it's not that they're choosing yours over theirs, but maybe they go and buy that diamond ring, and then they also see that you have a diamond necklace and they're like, oh, this can pair well with this. So that's actually not absurd as to why that's happening. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of when I first started, still progressing, though not where I need to be at yet. That's good, Jordan, as long as you're making progress. Number one. Number two, we'll never be where we want to be. I remember when I first started, before I started, I was like, if I can just make 10K a month, I'll be happy. And then I hit 10K, and then I was like, if I can just make 30K, I'll be happy. Not happy, but like satisfied, because I'm happy. I'm a happy guy. If I can make 30K a month, I'll be satisfied. And then I made 30K a month, and I was like, if I can just make 50K a month, I'll be satisfied. And then it's an endless cycle. I got an EIN and empty LLC. Every time I try to create the Amazon account, I'm having issues. With what? Last month I hit 12K in revenue. Now next goal is 25. Let's go, Jordan. Jordan, this is the thing, y'all. When people are like, how are your students doing on Amazon? I'm like, I know there's so many doing good, but then we have people like Jordan. I didn't even know Jordan was doing 12K in top line revenue. Let's go, Jordan. W, brother. W. Jordan, send me a message, brother. Let's use you as a student result, huh? In fact, I target the most similar diamond necklace and no conversions or impressions. Well, if no impressions, you're bidding too low, noob. No impressions means you're bidding too low. Appreciated the course. Definitely helped all the way. Let's go, son. I love it. I love it. Absolute W, Jordan. Kais, whose was it, bro? I'm excited for you, brother. You missed out on the Harvard of Amazon private label education, but nonetheless, brother, I'm wishing you Godspeed on your journey, and I hope that you do amazing. Even like, and this is the thing, when people, and I know nobody in this live is thinking this, by the way, but just generally, when people are like, oh, you only want people to get your program, it's like, noob is technically in my, I don't know who that is, but hopefully it's good, brother. Hopefully it's good. Noob is technically in my competitor's program, and y'all see how much that I'm trying to help Noob, with no intention of him ever joining or anything like that. And yeah, he just supports and is in the lives and stuff every day. I just want to see people win, man. I just want to see people win. The course definitely helped all the way. I love that. I'm actually going to pin that, Jordan. Let's go, son. Jordan, hop in. Make sure if you have the time to hop in. Oh, you're doing arbitrage, completely different. Still awesome, Kai. I wish you Godspeed regardless of what you're doing, bro. And I hope that it goes well for you. I'm just a fan. I love it. I shout you out from time to time in my emotional TikToks. I haven't seen them. You gotta tag me, bro. I like that. I do watch some of your videos sometimes, noob. You a real one, bro. I appreciate it, man. It's my North Star with creating content and doing these lives and doing these videos. Like, I had people along my journey that I learned from, and that is why I make this kind of content. Your orange you ate is dope. Are you talking about this? Because I don't actually have that car. It's just I got Legos, son. Oh, you're talking to him. I was like, I don't have that. Nice, nice. Yeah, I haven't seen that. But let's go. Make sure y'all drop your questions down below. And again, make sure y'all go show some love to my last few TikTok videos. Posted some gems today. Always got to shout that out because I do these lives for free. So all I ask is that y'all go show the videos some love. But the last video that I just posted is how I got sales like this. I show this account. How do you check organic sales? There's softwares like H10 can do this for you. I wouldn't fully rely on softwares, but what you can do is take your sales from your business report, and that's going to be your total sales, and then subtract that by your ad sales. Yeah. I'm not one to rely on softwares. Nope. Even with like Helium 10, like I use it as a tool. I'm not going to go into any specific softwares because there's no need. But like softwares are not meant to be relied on. I don't care who it is, unless Amazon themselves came out and made a software. There is no software that you should rely on for your business. Like to be like, oh, this is a good product to sell. Like if you notice, I don't ask Helium 10, is this a good product to sell? I look at the data and then, because then I would push heavier on that word. And you could also look at your search query performance report, noob, if you're brand registered. That's going to be one of the most in-depth and valuable softwares. I rely on Sellerboard pretty heavy. I like it a lot. I think Sellerboard is mainly for arbitrage and stuff, right? But again, y'all, I personally would not ever rely on softwares because you see people who like, you have, I'm going to get to your question, Bosch, but no need to spam, please. But you'll see, like, I'm not going to mention any names, but you'll see a creator on TikTok who shows Jungle Scout. He's like, my software tells me that it has high demand and low competition. Pretty nice. And they're not actually good products. So there's no software in the world that is going to tell you whether a product is good or not. You have to learn how to read the data. Again, that goes for all softwares. I don't even fully rely on Helium 10's software to tell me my profitability because I've seen it be incorrect. Oh, with accounting, I think that's total. Oh, okay, gotcha. I think that's okay. I think softwares are pretty solid with that because they're pulling directly from your Amazon account. So something like that, totally cool. I'm mainly speaking on like, again, relying on a software to tell you this is a good product, this is not a good product. Even like because if you notice, like even with like keyword research, you have to understand what you're doing. I created an account, want to launch my first product, but still researching. Could you recommend one? No, sir. I teach people how to find products, but I do not give people products for free, nor will anybody online give you a product for free. And any video that you see that is a good product, because I have videos on my TikTok, like this is what a good product market looks like on Amazon. I always at the end say why I wouldn't launch that product. It's no net benefit. People do that for views, but nobody's actually going to give anyone a product for free on social media. Just being 100. But my advice for you, my friend, is it's a numbers game. Keep looking. Maybe you haven't found one yet, but if you keep going and you keep pushing, you will eventually find one. There are thousands of products out there. I have 400 plus products on my approved product list that meet my criteria, that at any point I could go launch or give to one of my students. Actually just sent 2 students their product selection this week. So yeah, there's an endless amount of products for you to find. Any tips for Q4 besides getting inventory in ASAP? Get that conversion up, bro, because things get expensive in Q4. Some cost per clicks can double during Q4, and you really want to make sure that you have your PPC strategy, your ad strategy dialed in to a T. Another thing is I actually literally just did this this week, yesterday and today, on 2 of our accounts. Now, I do not recommend this for anybody who is just getting started and hasn't like dialed in their ads completely, but making seasonal campaigns. I don't like seasonal products, but seasonal campaigns. So let's pretend, what would be a good example? Let's pretend you sold candles. That's a good one. So if you had candles, or no, let's talk more of like a product specific. So if you sold candles, you would have your normal keywords like candle or 3-wick candle or whatever your main keywords are, candle, 32-ounce candle, I don't know. But then having holiday related campaigns, this is kind of a niche tip, but I do think that it's helpful. So now you have like autumn scented candle. And maybe that's just something, what's like an autumn scent that's also year round? Maybe like apple and cinnamon or something like that. Candle for Christmas. Well, so right now we just did our, like pumpkin spice, for example. I think that's a little bit more folly, but let's say apple cinnamon. And now having like fall candle for fall, and then you can kind of create campaigns around that. So what I do is, the only time I ever turn campaigns off is with this strategy. So again, let's pretend that it was candles, and let's pretend we had an apple cinnamon candle, and then we also had ones that were related to Christmas as well. I'll run my fall or autumn campaigns all through Q4, and I actually just started them, like I said, this week. No, I don't sell candles. I'm just trying to use an example. I'll run those all through Q4. And then once we get a little bit out of fall, so like maybe right after Halloween, I'll go through and I'll turn on all my Christmas related campaigns. I'll let those run. And let me tell you, it does some wonders for the accounts that I do that on. Now, like with a supplement product, which, this account, I am not going to say supplements for Christmas or things like that, but I do try to find some holiday related stuff. It's easier for some products than it is others. Like you're not going to say Christmas water bottle on your campaigns. That's probably not going to convert as well, but maybe gifts for Christmas, if you're going to be a little bit more broad. I want to get into this. Nice. Definitely check out the videos on my page. I got a lot of videos on how to start. How many times can a person get approved for new products? Well, what do you mean? If you're doing private label, you don't need to get approved for most of the products that you launch. Sorry, another funny keyword with one conversion, 81 birthday gift for grandma. That's a very long tail keyword. I'm curious what the search volume is on something like that. I'm curious what your product is, to be honest, at this point. You don't tell me on the live, but you don't have to tell me at all if you don't want to. But yeah, I'm just very curious because it's very interesting, the data that you're laying out for me. Any thoughts on Alibaba Co-Create convention to find suppliers? I don't think that you need to go to a convention to find suppliers. I know some people who do, and it works out for them, so awesome. But personally, I don't think that it's necessary. What's your go-to niche? I have a lot. Home and kitchen is probably my home and kitchen is my favorite, but one that's really, really starting to compete with that is like toys and baby products. Those are 2 separate categories, but I really do like those 2. Health and household, even though health and household is where my biggest account is, it's not necessarily my favorite. I do really like home and kitchen. Health and household, office products I think are really solid as well. I really like home decor products. Home decor products is fun if you can find the right one. I mean, home decor toys and baby products are fun if you can find the right one, because they can always be used as gifts to people. Baby and toy products, if you can find one that hits. Every kid has a birthday. Every baby has a birthday. There's a baby born every day of the year. Like, you will never have a shortage of customers. And then when Q4 hits, ooh, it's a different story when Q4 hits and you have a product like that. T, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you and everybody in the live. If y'all aren't already following the TikTok, make sure that you are, because I post multiple Amazon videos and go live every day, every weekday, Monday through Saturday, even though Saturday is not a weekday. Any tips on toys? I heard you need some certification eventually for it. You do, but it's super easy to get that. You would just get it from your manufacturer. Your manufacturer overseas will be able to provide the right compliance 9.5 times out of 10. So it's pretty straightforward. I just placed an order. Well, not just placed an order. It's almost at Amazon. It should actually arrive to Amazon within the next few days, or maybe next week. But we had to get an approval test for that. Excuse me. And we just got that test from the manufacturer. Sometimes they'll be able to do it for free. Sometimes they'll charge you. It really just depends. Now, a couple things, everybody. Because we've been given an hour of straight value, I just want to show a couple things really quick. This is my only fee for doing these lives, that you just sit through this part. All right. So when I was talking about ads earlier, so this is the ad section in the AMZ Masterclass. Now, this is not the PPC Masterclass, but we go over everything, navigating your campaigns. What is PPC? How does it work? Understanding PPC terms, understanding ACOS, TACOS, things like how to create an optimized auto campaign, product targeting, category, when to launch the different campaign types, how to use negative keywords, how to manage your bids, which is a really big thing. If y'all don't know how to do, you need to do proper bid optimizations, how to check your conversion, how to create sponsored brand, the Amazon advertising path to purchase. If you don't understand this, it's going to be a tough go when running ads. And then not only do we have this entire section, we have the cream of the crop, the PPC Masterclass. Each one of these lessons is about an hour long. We have part 1, 1.5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, mini PPC Masterclass 1, part 9, mini PPC Masterclass 2. So it's actually a 12-part series on PPC ads, probably like 10 hours on PPC ads. The most in-depth guide on PPC ads out there. You will not find anything like this in any other program. You will not find anything like this on YT. You will not find anything like this on TikTok. This is literally the most in-depth guide on PPC ads out there. And to get access to this, because I see, how do we get access to this? How much do we pay for this? You would come over to the TikTok. My program wasn't close to 12 hours. Yeah, I mean, that's just 12 hours or like 10 hours in the PPC Masterclass. And then you have all of these individual sections right here going over everything. And it's unmatched. It's unmatched, I'm telling you. But to get access to this, TikTok bio, boom. This is the AMZ Masterclass, ladies and gentlemen. You guys can see everything that we have in here, right? All the services, all of the things I provided, like the PPC Masterclass. And if you guys were interested in joining, you guys could also watch this little video right here. Yes, I want to apply. Like yesterday, I did this. I accidentally doxed my phone number, but you would go through this very quick application, actually fill it out proper. Don't do what I'm doing. That way my onboarding coach, Adam, can help you best on your call. This part I need to hide so I don't dox my phone number and email. And then if you qualify for the program, you will know that because once you answer this question here, you will be brought to this page right here, loading, where you're going to be able to book a time and call. I don't know why we have so many days available. Usually it's only 4 days, but better for you guys. Where you're going to be able to book a time and call with the team and my onboarding coach, Adam, will be able to answer any questions that you have about the program. But on that note, everybody, y'all make sure to go show some love to my videos. Check out the AMZ Masterclass in the TikTok bio. I hope everybody has a blessed day, a blessed night, and I will, God willing, see you all tomorrow.